Today we will start with 6th session of database concept chapter. Already we explained in the previous session regarding what do you mean by data, information, why we required information, data processing cycle, which are the stages under data processing cycle, the difference between manual as well as electronic data processing, how exactly it will work, then what are the advantages of DBMS, that is database management system. It is nothing but it is a software used to manage the data in a database. In this way, several advantages like centralized data management, security will be more, multi-user, at a time we can able to access more than one person. Like that we have several advantages on this DBMS. With that we explained regarding the architecture, the database architecture, that is one-tier architecture, two-tier architecture as well as three-tier architecture. In one-tier architecture, the user directly sits on DBMS and works on that. Whereas in two-tier architecture, we have two layers, one is client side and one more is server side. The client side having application program, with the help of application program, they are accessing the data in the database through ODBC, that is Open Database Connectivity. Whereas in three-tier architecture, we have three layers. There, with the help of application server, we are accessing all those things we explained in the previous class. Today, we will start with the next concept on the database concept, that is regarding database model. What do you mean by this database model? Why we required this? And what are the advantages? Which are the types of data models we have? Regarding that, you will come to know on this session. Then what do you mean by data model? For example, if you have Taj Mahal model with you, then what are the things you will come to know? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ತಾಜ್ ಮಹಲ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಏನೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ನೋ ದ ಕಲರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ತಾಜ್ ಮಹಲ್. ಬರೀ ಕಲರ್ ಮಾತ್ರನಾ? ನೋ. ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಶೇಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ತಾಜ್ ಮಹಲ್. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ನೋ? Only shape matrana, color and shape? No, with that I can able to identify where is the entrance, where is the exit, how many doors we have, all those things we will come to know. It means that by seeing that model, we can able to analyze the entire structure of that Taj Mahal. Is it no? In the same way, this database model will describes how the data are arranged, where exactly it is stored, which data type it is, how exactly it is arranged, the relationship of the data. Regarding that, you will come to know on this database concept. Now is it clear? Whereas now we will explain regarding database model. Database model. What do you mean by this database model? It describes the general structure of the data in a database, or we can say that it describes the structures, operations. It describes the operations, structures, operations performed in the data. That regarding you will come to know in database model. It mainly describes the general structure of the data in a database. ಈಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ತಾಜ್ ಮಹಲ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಇಂದ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು? ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇದೆ, ಏನು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಕಲರ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಶೇಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಥರ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ನೋ? ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಹಿಯರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾಬೇಸ್, that can be easily analyzed, helps to describe the structure. Then what do you mean by database? Database is nothing but collection of related tables, or we can say it as collection of related files. It describes the structure, operations performed in a data. Now, with that, it will also explain the relationship of the data. ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೇಟಾ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನು ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. When we come on database model, we have three types of database model. The first one is hierarchical model. Hierarchical model. The second one, network model. The third one is a relational model. A relational model. There are three types of database models. The first one, hierarchical model, network model, and the last one is a relational model. Now we will explain one by one. First we will explain regarding hierarchical model. What do you mean by this hierarchical model? How exactly it will look? For example, we are going to write one diagram here. For example, here I am to take it as department. For example, on that department, I am taking the values. One is department number 1, that is CS. In this, we have first PUC, and one more we have second PUC. In first PUC also we have science and commerce, science, and one more is commerce. In second PUC also we have science and one more commerce. Then what exactly you will come to know by this diagram? In hierarchical model, all the data are arranged in the format of tree structure. Here it will arrange all the data in the format of tree structure. Tree format alli arrange agutte. Then with that, who developed this hierarchical model? This hierarchical model is developed by IBM company. It is developed by IBM company. And here mainly all the data are represented in the format of tree structure. Tree format, all the data are arranged in this hierarchical model. See, we have one root. For that root, we have child. For that child, we may have to get the leaf nodes. And then one root irutte, a root in the sub childs irutte. Root anta karibodu. ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ ನೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಕರೀಬಹುದು. We have one root node, and from where all the sub nodes are arranged, that node can be called as root node or parent node. Parent ಅಂತ ಕರೀಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ root ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಕರೀಬಹುದು. From this, all sub nodes are arising. That's why here all the data are represented in the format of tree structure. In this, what are the things we will come to know? On this, we have root node, we have root, child node, child node, or we can say it as leaf node. Here, these can be called as leaf node. Leaf node andre ಅದರಿಂದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಬ್ ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಲೀಫ್ ನೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀಬಹುದು. In this we have root, child. With that we have link. In between it is connecting with the help of link. It is developed by IBM company, and here all the data are arranged in the format of tree structure. With that here we have root, child, link, and with that here it follows the concept called as one to many or one to one. For example, here one to one, only one root node and only one child node kuda irbodu, ಅಥವಾ one root for that multiple child kuda irbodu. It means that it may follows one to one or one to many relations. Okay, then in this also we have few advantages as well as disadvantages. Then what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages here we'll get. When we come on advantages, it is very simple. Simple format we are using here. It is very simple, and with that it is very efficient as well as security also good here. Here it is very simple, efficient, and security also it is good. These are the few advantages. When we come on disadvantages, implementation is difficult. Implementation is difficult. And database management is also difficult. Database management is also difficult. With that, lack of structural ideas. Lack of structural ideas. These are the thing regarding hierarchical model. Here, it is developed by IBM. In tree format, it will display all the data. In this, we have root, child, link. With that, it follows one-to-one or one-to-many relationship. It is very simple, efficient, as well as security also it is good. And when you want to write the disadvantages, implementation is difficult, as well as database management is also difficult. With that, we need lack of ideas. What are the things here we need? How it is connected regarding the structure of the hierarchical model. If you know, then only we can able to access. And the second one is network model. Network model. What do you mean by this network model? I will show this with one diagram. Consider here we have department 1 and here we have department 2. For example, 1 and here 2, CS department, here maths department. This is connected to student 1 and here this also connected to student 2. Student 2. And for this student, we used to take CS as well as for the second student also we used to take maths, CS. In the same way, here all the things are connected to each other. ಈಗ CS department to maths department. ಎರಡು student ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Here, for the first student also will take the class. For the second student also will take the class. And maths also, for the first student also they will take the class. As well as for second student also they will take the class. These two students belongs to same class. Like that, we'll take one example. Then what do you mean by this network model? This network model is developed by Codacil, and with that, here all the datas are arranged in the format of graph format. In the format graph. Whereas in hierarchical model, all the data are arranged in tree format. Whereas in network, all the data are arranged in the format of graph format. In this, we have records. In this, we have records. All the records are arranged. With that, we have the links also in between. A relationship is there. Here we have records, relationships, as well as links we have. All the records, all the data are connected to each other. We have links. With that, it follows one-to-many relation as well as many-to-many relation. One-to-many or many-to-many kuda irbodu. Now is it clear? Whereas in the previous class, one-to-one as well as one-to-many here we have. But here, many-to-many also we have the relationship. In this also we have few advantages as well as disadvantages. Then what are the advantages here we'll get? It is very simple. With that, it can handle many relations. It is very simple and handle many relations, many relationship. Then what are the disadvantages on this network model we will get? In this also we have few disadvantages. On that, it is more complex system. It is more complex system. It is more complex system. See the diagram? All the things are connected to each other. It is very complex by nature, is it? No. That also one of the drawback. It is more complex by nature and lack of structure data. Here we need lack of structural difficulties is there. Lack of structure idea. Of structure idea. Like this, in graph also we have some advantages as well as disadvantages. When you come on hierarchical model, all the data are arranged in the format of tree format. Whereas when you come on network model, all the data are arranged in graph format. With that, it is developed by Codacil, and here all the data can be arranged in the format of records, relationships, and with that it may connect it to one-to-many or many-to-many format. And with that, it is very simple. Handle of many relation, it can handle many relation. Like that, in this way, will advantages as well as disadvantages. Next, we will move to the last model, that is relational model. What do you mean by this relational model? Whereas when you come on database model, I told you three types. One is hierarchical model, network model, and the last one is relational model. Relational model. I am going to explain this with one diagram. Consider we have one table. On this table, we have some values. For example, serial student number, student ID, name, marks 1, marks 2. ID I am to write X, Y and Z, name M, N, P. Marks 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 20. Consider this the table. Then in relational model, especially this relational model is developed by EF codes, and with that all the data are arranged in the format of table format here. In hierarchical model, tree format, network model, graph format. Whereas in relational database model, there the records, informations all are arranged in the format of table. And here we have the rows as well as columns. In this also we have rows, columns. What do you mean by this rows? Here the entire row values can be called as tuple, or we can say it as record. The collection of entire column value, this column value here can be called as domain. Here also we have attribute, entity. Like that, we have all the features in the whatever table features. We have the same thing here also in relational model. We have records, rows, columns, and the relations. Like that, there is a concept here, and with that mainly it stores in two-dimensional array format. Two-dimensional array format. Now it's clear. And in this also we have few advantages as well as disadvantages. When they come on advantages, for example, we have the one table. On that table, all the informations are stored. All the informations are stored in homogeneous format. With that, if I want to increase the length, then on that time it is difficult, because already I told you it will store the data in two-dimensional array format. Then to increase the length, it is difficult here. If I want to increase the length, it is very difficult, but easy to maintain here. When we come on the advantages, easy to maintain and simplicity. Easy to maintain and simple. But to increase the length, increase the length is difficult. Is difficult here. Now is it clear? These are the things regarding the relational database model. Relational database model. Now, once again I am to recall all the things, whatever thing today we explained. Database model andre it will describe the general structure, how data are arranged, how it is stored, where exactly it is stored, what is the relationship, which data type it is. Regarding that it will store the information. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಮಾಡೆಲಲ್ಲಿ ಡೇಟಾ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಥರದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ ಡೇಟಾ, ಏನು ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪು, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 3 types of database model. The first one is hierarchical model. In this, information will store in the format of trees. The second one, network model. Information will store in the format of which format? It will store the information in the format of graph format. Whereas in the relational model, it will store the relations, all the data in the format of table format. Whereas hierarchical model is developed by IBM, network model is developed by Codacil, and the relational model is developed by F-Codes. And with that, in all the three we have advantages as well as disadvantages. Main thing you have to keep it in your mind. First one hierarchical, network, relational. Hierarchical developed by IBM, Codacil, F-Code. In hierarchical model, data will stored in the format of tree format, whereas in network, which format? Graph format, whereas in the last case, table format. Now is it clear? Like this, we have to analyze the different types of models. Now is it clear for all of you? Next class, we will meet the remaining concept with you once again. Thank you.